What you see in front of you is a meme graph, or a graph of those value systems stacked on the top of each other. The first one is that of the US and the UK. I am not claiming that the US and the UK have exactly the same economic system, but beginning from the 1980s, the UK economy began to look a lot more like that of the United States. Both countries abandoned industrial capitalism and adopted financial capitalism as their way forward. So up to the 1930s, you can look at the meme stack there. Both economies were dominated by monopolistic and oligarchical values. A handful of men build entire infrastructure of countries. That system collapsed with the Great Depression and the end of World War II, and out of its ashes rose the blue system. The UK had Keynesian economics, that is the bluest, most modern economic ideology that built modern day nations. In the United States, we had FDR and the policies of the New Deal. It gave us all the blue institutions that we still identify with today. Then in the 1970s, the world got hit by two external factors that will affect the future of capitalism forever. First, we got removed off the gold standard, so the historic blue that held the ethos of capitalism together was removed, and then we got hit by the Arab oil embargo. And suddenly the EU and the UK found that their products are not as competitive as those of Germany and Japan. So what do? In the United States, we elected Ronald Reagan, who on his inaugural speech proclaims that government is the enemy of business, and proceeds and systemically deregulates the entire American economy. What happens when you weaken blue? Of course, red is going to rise. The layer that you see above blue, that is the unhealthy orange expression, okay? And you can see the growth of unhealthy orange through financial innovation, okay? It allows you still to do a little bit of orange, but then we were all hopeful that by the time the financial crisis hit, that government will wake up and realize that we need to rebuild that blue system that regulates capitalist activities. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened, which is a tremendous concern for a lot of people. But you begin to see an anomaly that is going to really affect what the future of capitalism looks like. When you give money through financial innovation, when you give money to the entire spiral, almost every value system on the spiral benefits. So you continue to see the growth of the red system, you continue to see the growth of the unhealthy orange system, but at the same time, you continue to see the growth of the orange system through innovation, research, and development. And for the first time in history, we're seeing the exponential growth of the green economy. After the financial crises, renewable energy technologies and economic activity has gone up 12 to 15 times from where it was in 2008. Okay, so that's one profile of an economy. The next one we're going to profile is that of Germany. Germany, right out of the end of World War II, adopted the Marshall Plan that rebuilt Europe and Japan and put those countries' industrial production into peaceful uses. Okay, that was met with the policies of Ludwig Erhard, who was not just happy with implementing a new blue system. The Germans are lovers of blue. They wanted to make absolutely sure that there will be no repeat of the past. So Ludwig Erhard goes back and pacifies all the monopolies and the oligarchies that existed prior to the end of the war. He was the first to introduce modern econometrics at a cabinet level, the first country in Europe to do so. The next system after that was the era where Karl Schiller was. This is really the implementation of blue economic policies through the Keynesian model. I confuse Keynes with Graves. I usually say Gravesian, but it is Keynesian. Building blue institutions, building higher orange capacities, and of course, Germany has a thick green layer in its economy. That system moved forward. It was affected a little bit, but what we were affected with in the 1970s. Then came in the administration of Helmut Kohl, who privatized a small percentage of the government holding in big German companies. But then came the fall of the Berlin Wall. And does anybody like that? I can't say I originally created that. I borrowed that from Thomas Friedman. The fall of the Berlin Wall and the rise of the Berlin Mall. And this is really where you got to pay attention to the convergence process. Okay, here we are 25 years after the wall fell, and there's still tremendous disparities between Western Germany and Eastern Germany. On average, millionaires in West Germany outnumber those in East Germany 10 to 1. The average net worth of a Western German is 2.5 times the size of that in East Germany. And West German labor on average makes about 30 to 35% more than the East German. Okay? That mimetic stack, that last column that you see, that is an ideal mimetic stack for a capitalist culture. That is a balanced system.